Dear Santa, please don't come this year. Santa's castle has stood for nearly 2,000 years. Santa's helpers were returning after their well-earned rest. They gathered in little groups, their voices tinkling like sleigh bells in the frosty air. They had so much to tell each other. The dungeons were filled with the gifts that the chief helper had ordered from the toy makers. All the usual games, books, paint sets, recorders, trains, and bikes. Everything any child could ever want. Maybe something for you. Chief Helper read the list to Santa. "And let me see," said Chief Helper. "This year we have 5 million video games and 10 million computers." Santa shook his head. "I'm too old for computers. I can't understand them. And they're so expensive. You know, Chief, something is missing. I just don't quite know what it is." Then Santa beamed. "Ah, here come my old friends, the teddy bears. It really is Christmas after all." Cheerful mailroom helpers dragged heavy mail bags full of children's letters to be sorted. "Every year it gets harder and harder," said Santa, pinning a medal on Chief Helper. "Well done, Chief. You've done wonders again." Chief Helper blushed and puffed out his chest. "Thank you, Santa. You know I'd do anything for you." In the office, Santa's secretaries sorted the requests. Santa always knows what each child deserves. It is very hard on his memory these days, so the new video screens on the walls help a lot. On one, you can see the children, and on others, the presents they have asked for. "Sorry, Santa," said Chief Helper. "All the children are asking for the ugly 3-headed dinosaurs they've seen on TV. We're sure to run out." "They'll be just as happy with teddy bears," said Santa. But he wasn't sure. His wrinkled brow crumpled into a frown. Santa looked at his screen and heaved a sigh. "Listen to this letter, Chief. No dear Santa, no please. Just give me, give me, give me." But the more they get, the less they believe. Poor kids. It's not their fault. Sometimes I blame myself. "I think this will be my last year. I'm getting too old. Kids have so much now. Christmas isn't what it was. I remember my first, one innocent baby born in a stable, presents from poor shepherds, and 3 wise men." Poor Santa. But just as he was nodding off, Chief Helper rushed in, grinning ear from ear. "One letter to go, Santa. The very last one for this year. It must have taken someone a long time to write." As he read the first line, Santa's face fell. Then, as he read on, he smiled a smile that lit up the whole room. "Dear Santa, please, don't come this year. You always bring us fine presents, thank you. But, Santa, we have almost everything we want. Lots of children don't get presents. Some don't have enough to eat or anywhere to live. Some don't have anyone to look after them, even when they're sick. So, we don't want presents for ourselves this year, at least nothing much. We want to help other children instead, and old people and animals in need. We love you, Santa. George and the gang." "I've been waiting to hear from them," said Santa. "They always cheer me up. I was worried. Let's see them on the screen." As they watched the screen, Santa and Chief Helper grew more and more excited. "They mean every word, they really do. Those kids are wonderful. Their parents, too. That's it. They're right. It's been my fault all along. I've been too soft. Now I know what I have to do. Chief, there is no time to lose. We must send a message at once. When the gentle reindeer knew what Santa planned, they couldn't wait to begin their magic journey, even though they knew it might be the last one they would ever make. Parents and grandparents, aunts and uncles, I want you to deliver the presents. Wear my uniform if you like. I'm leaving on a special mission. Kids today are great, especially yours. Now fly, reindeer, fly! The gift of food, the gift of health. Why should babies die? Why should mothers weep? Why should some have plenty and others not enough to eat? It didn't take the reindeer long to find people who were sick and hungry. Santa and his helpers brought them food and medicine, but he needed much more. The gift of sight. Eyes are for seeing, not for sorrowing. The gift of water. There won't be a harvest if we don't have water. Gifts of food are always welcome, but what about next year? Santa brought seed to plant, but he needed more. The gift of technology, the gift of hard work. Santa and his helpers searched for water and dug wells, but they needed more. The gift of peace. We won't grow enough food or dig enough wells if we don't have peace. Peace on earth. That's my message every Christmas. If only we can make it come true. Why do people fight? The gift of learning. We won't have peace and progress without learning. The excited children sang a happy song to thank Santa. Helpers built schools, but they needed many more. The gift of survival. We won't enjoy our planet if we don't share it with the animals. The children want animals to be protected. Imagine a world without elephants. Our wardens will keep ivory poachers at bay until we find them better work to do. Now let's go and take care of the hippos and rhinos and zebra and all others. When Santa returned to his castle, he was not alone. Welcome, new helpers! 2 of my old friends can retire now. There must be many children like you who would like to help. We need more. We need everyone. Do you know someone? Do you know, Santa, it used to take you only a day to visit millions of homes. I had almost a year to get you ready, yet I haven't been looking forward to it at all recently. This trip took nearly a whole year, but I can't wait to start again. Helping others is fun. Why didn't I see that sooner? The greatest gift is yourself. Now, I have an important letter to write. Look, gang, a message from Santa. He says, Dear kids, I never knew how hard it is to write a thank you letter. This is the first one I've ever had to write. Thank you for your money and gifts, your time and your love. You and your families have made so many people happy. You've brought magic back to Christmas. I believe in kids again, and grown-ups too. Love, Santa. The end.
Cinema Nouveau. Things are about to get interesting for the Lost Boys of St. Gregory's.
There are moments that make us who we are.
Father Scully, our December boys.
Happy birthday.
Thank you, Father.
That mark our fall from innocence.
As this is your birthday month, I've decided to send everyone on a holiday. It's a special place on the sea.
The December Boys, directed by Rod Hardy and adapted from Michael Noonan's novel, are no longer little and cute and are losing hope of ever being adopted. So when they meet a cool, childless couple on their holiday, the boys, led by Daniel Radcliffe, will need to pull out all stops to impress them.
Suppose you're the one.
He showed us all up. Yeah, for an old bloke he came through.
I don't want to be adopted.
You don't?
No. I like things the way they are. The film is essentially about 4 orphan boys who have grown up in a Catholic orphanage in the Australian outback, and the orphanage is given a sum of money by an anonymous and very generous donor. And the orphanage chooses to use that money by sending these 4 boys away on holiday for a few weeks over Christmas. And that's essentially it. And then they go off to the seaside, and it's about their stories, what happens to them while they're out there. And it's a good mix of, my story, my character story is quite tragic, whereas the other boys' stories are mainly quite sort of uplifting.
I swear.
Let him up.
Where? When? I don't know. Before we leave. They're gonna choose which one of us they like best.
Why would they want us? We're too old.
So how did the young actors go with the international star?
They actually seemed totally unfazed by the whole thing, which was great. I think it would have been quite difficult to play that sort of, to use a slightly annoying word, camaraderie, if they were totally intimidated. And also because I don't think I'm a particularly intimidating person, so I don't think it would have worked so well. But luckily they seemed totally unfazed by the whole thing, which was very, very good for the film.
I think everyone in Australia is so excited, number one, by the fact that Daniel Radcliffe would choose to do a small little independent Australian film after he's shot all these huge, massive, big budget Harry Potter films. I think everyone in Australia is just really proud, and everyone's welcoming him. In fact, when we shot in South Australia, there was actually a Daniel Radcliffe hotline, and people would ring up to try and see where Daniel Radcliffe was, and there was money prizes if you got a photo of him, and it was crazy. It was, manic. It was fun.
Everybody ready?
There's no substitute for a family, says Father Scully. So when an unexpected beach holiday provides one last chance for one boy, the competition is fierce. Their deepest feelings of rejection will erupt, threatening to tear their friendship apart. For Daniel Radcliffe, this was the perfect acting challenge.
The character's very different from Harry. The story and the whole tone of the movie is totally different from anything I've been in before. And I suppose you can't ask for anything more than that, really.
Who do you think they'll choose?
I don't know. Spit's clever. He can fix most anything. Misty's the youngest, and he's a good artist. And Spark's got good energy. He's the fastest, wins all the races.
What about you? Are you good at anything? I know it's not singing.
Well, I don't want to be adopted. What's the big deal about parents anyway?
There was life before Harry Potter, and there'll be life after it, if December Boys is any indication. The challenge for Daniel Radcliffe now is to be seen as an actor first, and as Harry Potter second. His contract as the Boy Wizard is a privilege and a big responsibility. Daniel Radcliffe will appear in the 7 films. The final, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, is expected to be completed in 2010. Radcliffe no doubt depends on the good counsel of his parents, one a literary agent and the other a casting agent, in charting his career path. In an attempt to throw off the not-so-invisible cloak of Harry Potter, Radcliffe took a role in the 2007 production of Peter Shaffer's play Equus as Alan Strang, a stable boy with an obsession with horses. Curious audiences queued to catch a glimpse of the young actor who appeared nude in the play, and critics were impressed by the depth of his performance. Daniel Radcliffe remains charmingly unaffected by his success and newly acquired wealth. The well-adjusted 18-year-old copes with swooning girls and screaming fans by putting it all into perspective and not turning into what he describes as an arrogant tosser.
So it's probably stranger for people who, watched all the films. I've seen the films.
The hard-working actor worked with a language coach for 6 months to perfect an Australian accent and enjoyed filming Down Under, describing Australians as laid-back and unfazed by celebrity, quite unlike his hysterical fan base in America and Japan. In December, boys, fans will be rewarded with a sweet and fumbling love scene opposite pretty Australian actress Teresa Palmer as Radcliffe's character maps and works his uncertain way toward manhood.
We didn't know it at the time,
Hey, look! Hey, see the rocks!
that after that summer,
How you going?
nothing would ever be the same.
How you going?
You're one of them orphan kids.
Yeah.
By the way, her name is Lucy. So I don't get to see many women where you're from.
Nuns, mostly.
We heard you were coming.
I know how to ride one of these. My dad had one. You're full of it. Your dad died when you was 3.
Hey, boys like a thrill, do you?
Yeah!
Who's first?
It's one December these boys will never forget.